Actually, as a former diplomat, Professor, how shocked were you to see the American president practically threatening to assassinate the head of state of another country?
I'm not shocked because it's Trump. Shocked as an American, but not shocked because it's Trump. He clearly doesn't really believe in rules or norms of international affairs. He believes in getting his way when he wants it. And I think he still believes that he can both do whatever he wants with the Israelis in Iran, with whatever consequences that leads to, and provoke a negotiation that, gets this, this peacemaking with Iran back on track. In fact, he believes that the attacks going on are going to improve the chances of an ultimate deal. Although what's new in Trump's rhetoric, over the last day or two is that he's talking about negotiations in the context of capitulation rather than negotiations in the context of a give and take. So, what exactly he means is anybody's guess, but it does seem that he's ready to engage. And I'd say about 75% of the analysts in Washington think the U.S. is about to join Israel in attacking Iran, although the majority of the foreign policy establishment, including a lot of Republicans and even MAGA Republicans, would rather that not happen.
Do you think American intervention in this war would make it almost impossible for Tehran then to back down because of the loss of credibility at home that it would suffer?
No, it would just delay everything. I mean, Iran is resilient, Iran will fight, and then eventually this will end. And then Iran will have to be in a deal-making mode, just like Israel and the United States. So I think, the old adage is war is politics by other means. And what's happening now is the U.S., Iran, and Israel are all speaking in a belligerent fashion and fighting in a belligerent fashion. And at some point, the calculations will change between the three countries. The most likely country to bring this all to an end more quickly than theirs is the United States. And that depends on several factors, one being the huge conflict within the Republican Party right now. Much of his base is against the U.S. engaging in this war, and also Trump's, concerns about his legacy. He really thought just weeks ago he might be on the verge of a Nobel Prize and be able to get 3 deals, another Gaza ceasefire, an end to the Russia-Ukraine war, and this new nuclear deal with expanded dimensions with Iran. And now all of the conflicts are getting worse.
So there's clearly 2 aims here, Israeli aims: regime change and destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities. And the missiles that Israel is sending over, many of them are targeting the Revolutionary Guard. Is the IRGC the absolute fulcrum of the Iranian regime? Is it right to target the IRGC? Because if it's diminished, the regime itself becomes weak?
No, it's a highly populous country, and the IRGC is large, and they can just keep replacing the commanders. And Israel can accomplish neither of those gains. They don't have the technology, the capacity, the strength to get rid of Iran's nuclear program. And even if the Americans drop the bunker busters, Iran would just reconstruct the program. And regime change is impossible too, because you can maybe do a regime destruction. You just kill all the top leaders, but that's not regime change. Regime change means that you're bringing in another regime, and there is no regime in waiting. There is no other mechanism for the Israelis, the Americans, or even the Iranians to bring in another regime. So this is just regime assault, regime destruction, and chaos. The intent to create chaos and hope the best comes. And as we all know in war, the unexpected externalities of violent actions are usually worse than what you predicted.
Look, finally, Professor, what about the space for anti-government voices? Has that expanded at all inside Iran? I'm not sure if we're seeing much of it, certainly not on social media. Benjamin Netanyahu is openly calling for the people of Iran to stand up.
I'm sure some will respond to that, and that group in Iraq, Mujahideen al-Khalq, will try to encourage that. And there's plenty of dissidents outside and inside Iran that would like that to happen. But the West is doing several things here, or at least the U.S. and Israel is doing several things here to delegitimize and make that effort less possible. And one of the main things they're doing is killing women and children, killing civilians. I mean, the casualty statistics are just unprecedented in an Israeli attack on Iran. I mean, thousands of injuries and lots of women and children being killed. And Iranians, for all of their differing political opinions, don't believe that what's going on justifies Israel to kill a lot of civilians. And that's one of several things that's making this assault on Iran unlikely to lead to that kind of outcome. Professor William Lawrence, always appreciate the analysis. Thank you so much. Sure.